Hello, my name is Christian Martius, and this is Mercifully Short Stories, a podcast telling tales for the distracted, hyperactive, and noticeably absent. Episode 9 of Mercifully Short Stories contains a piece called So Much Water, So Little Time, and it is written and read by Christian Martius. I found myself underwater. Water is more or less see-through, so I didn't immediately notice the change. I just woke up, got out of bed, and floated towards the kitchen. Feet didn't touch the ground. By the time I got to the kitchen counter, I had to take a deep breath, underwater, and compose myself. Cutlery and a salt shaker suspended in front of me, untethered from gravity and a hard surface. I was tempted to turn the kettle on and make myself a cup of coffee, an imprinted routine momentarily unchallenged by the danger of electricity. I guess in moments of crisis, you first try to carry on as normal until it becomes too apparent that a hard wall of reality stands in the way. Instead, I looked out of the window. The sun had disappeared, and the view between the buildings was murky. A greenish-brown hue permeated everywhere. It rippled and moved between the parked cars, the street signs and bollards, like a living entity, flowing and enveloping at the same time, covering everything up, towards a surface where the water seemed to stop and a light shimmered. As far as I could see horizontally, that murk existed, somehow as if it had always been there. My body didn't feel too different. The pressure of the surrounding liquid encased my limbs and slowed my movements, but I was breathing. Lungs didn't feel as if they were full, and my diaphragm rose and fell as normal, as tiny bubbles came out of my mouth and nose. I stood there for a while, expecting a sudden tightness in the chest and throat, waiting for the signal that I really was drowning. But nothing happened. Maybe I was dead already, and this was my afterlife, doomed to haunt the houses of a flooded city, buoyed between underwater vehicles and roads that led to nowhere. I'd become a ghastly shell of myself, eroded by the passage of the sea and decorated with seaweed, fish carcasses, and sediment. But I didn't feel like a ghost. I floated over to the front door, walking and swimming at the same time. The weight of the volume of water pushed me back a little as I opened the door, but I could move outside. I looked up, and far above the houses, I could see the surface. There was gold and shades of blue phosphorescence, in brightness, moving, as it was full of the whole of life. In that moment, the undulating energy above, flaxen, aquamarine, and precious, became the most beautiful sight I'd ever seen. I kicked a little and stepped off of the sidewalk, moved upwards in what was once air, swam towards the light that beckoned, hoping for a better life. I hope you enjoyed this brief little story, and it hasn't taken up too much of your time. More fleeting episodes of Mercifully Short Stories will be available for your instant pleasure soon.